Have you ever had a dream about someone you love and felt there was a hidden message there? What you're about to discover will forever change the way you see your dreams and transform your love life starting tonight. That world that appears when you close your eyes isn't random. It's the secret language of your unconscious, trying to reveal truths about your heart that your conscious mind doesn't want to see. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists of all time, discovered that our dreams are the direct bridge to true love. I'm not talking about superficial interpretations, but deep decoding that will help you understand why you keep attracting the same type of partners, why there are patterns repeating in your relationships, and above all, how to transform your romantic destiny through what your mind shows you while you sleep. In the next few minutes, you'll learn to decipher the symbolic language of your dreams to heal love wounds you didn't even know you had. This isn't coincidence. If this video has reached you, it's because your unconscious is ready to reveal what you need to know. Your love life is about to transform. Grab paper and pencil, because what you're about to discover is the key that will open the door to the love you truly deserve. Dreams are direct messengers from your unconscious, and every character, every scenario, every emotion that appears while you sleep is a piece of the puzzle of your love life. The first step to decoding your dreams is understanding that they aren't random. Jung discovered that our dreams are compensatory, meaning they show what our conscious mind ignores or represses during the day. Have you ever wondered why you recurrently dream about an ex-partner? Or why unknown people appear who generate intense emotions in you? It's not coincidence. Jung talked about how the unconscious uses dreams to balance our emotional life, showing you parts of yourself that you've denied or repressed in your relationships. Think about this. If you constantly dream that your partner abandons you, it's not necessarily a premonition, but rather your unconscious processing a deep fear of abandonment that perhaps comes from your childhood. That recurring dream isn't there to torment you, but to show you what you need to heal. Most people ignore their dreams, dismissing them as simple nighttime fantasies without meaning, but you won't be one of them anymore. From today on, each dream will be an opportunity to understand more deeply why you love the way you love, why you choose who you choose, and how you can transform your love patterns from the root. Do this simple exercise. Before sleeping tonight, place a notebook and pencil next to your bed. Program your intention by saying aloud, "Tonight I will remember my dreams and understand their message about my love life." Upon waking, before checking your phone, before getting up, write down everything you remember. It doesn't matter if it seems disconnected or absurd. Note everything. The images, the sensations, the colors, the people. This simple act of intention will activate your connection with your unconscious. Dreams don't lie. They only show truths that are sometimes difficult to accept. And precisely that brutal honesty is what will lead you to transform your love life from a deep level. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point. Every person who appears in your dreams is a reflection of a part of yourself. Jung called this the projection of our own qualities or defects onto others. When you dream of someone, you aren't dreaming of that exact person, but what that person represents to you. The part of you that is reflected in them. Has it happened to you that you dream of a past love? Someone you thought you had forgotten? Your mind isn't suggesting you get back with that person. What it's trying to show you is what quality or energy associated with that relationship you need to integrate into your current life. Perhaps it was someone who made you feel valued, or someone who brought out your creative side, or maybe someone who challenged you intellectually. Jung discovered that in our dreams we face our Animus or Anima, the masculine part in a woman or the feminine part in a man. When a woman repeatedly dreams of an ideal man, it's not just a romantic desire, it's her Animus communicating with her, showing her what qualities she needs to develop in herself to feel complete. Imagine this. If you constantly dream of a strong man who rescues you, your unconscious isn't telling you that you need to be rescued. It's showing you that you need to integrate that strength and self-protection capacity in yourself, so you don't look outside for what you can cultivate within. The key to decoding these characters in your dreams is to ask yourself, What quality does this person represent for me? What do they make me feel when they appear in my dream? The answers will surprise you because they'll reveal emotional patterns you've been repeating in your relationships without realizing it. Practice this integration exercise. The next time you dream of someone significant, don't just stick with the superficial emotion. Take your notebook and write down all the qualities you associate with that person. Now, the transformative part. For each quality, write how you can develop or integrate it in yourself. If you've dreamed of someone who made you feel secure, ask yourself, how can I cultivate that security in myself without depending on others? Remember this powerful truth that Jung discovered. What we desperately seek in others is what we fail to recognize and love in ourselves. Repeat this phrase every morning after analyzing your dreams. I recognize that what I seek in love already exists within me. I just need to discover and nurture it. This integration process is the true path to healthier relationships, where you don't seek someone to complete you, but find people who complement what you've already developed in yourself. And when you begin to integrate these parts of yourself that you've projected onto others, something magical happens. You attract a different type of love into your life, one based on fullness and not on lack. But there are even deeper symbols in your dreams that speak directly to your capacity to love and be loved. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point. The scenarios and symbols in your dreams are the metaphorical language of your unconscious, and they contain powerful messages about your love patterns. Jung spoke extensively about universal symbolism, those symbols that appear in all cultures and epochs and that represent deep truths about our psyche. Have you ever dreamed of water? Water in dreams represents your emotions. A stormy ocean can indicate turbulent emotions not expressed in your current relationship. A calm lake can reflect emotional peace. A flood might signal that you feel overwhelmed by feelings you've repressed. And what about houses? The house in a dream represents your inner self. Closed rooms or dark basements are aspects of yourself that you've kept hidden, perhaps wounds from past relationships that you haven't healed. If you dream of discovering new rooms in a familiar house, your unconscious is showing you that you're ready to explore new dimensions of your capacity to love. Jung discovered that these symbols aren't casual. They're the language with which your soul speaks to you. Learning to interpret them is like learning a new language, the language of your own heart. Think about this. If you repeatedly dream of forking paths, it's not just a random scenario. Your unconscious is processing an important decision in your love life. If you dream of flying, you're experiencing a desire for freedom, perhaps in a relationship you feel limits you. Animals in your dreams also have powerful messages. A wolf can represent your wildest instincts, those you perhaps repress in your relationships. A snake can symbolize transformation or intuitive wisdom in your way of loving. Have you noticed what you wear in your dreams? Clothing represents how you show yourself to the world, your persona, as Jung would say. If you dream that you're naked before your partner or in public, it can indicate vulnerability, fear of being judged, or desire for authenticity in your relationships. Do this decoding exercise. Choose the most recurring symbol in your recent dreams. Now, instead of looking for its meaning on the internet, close your eyes and ask yourself, what does this symbol mean to me personally? What emotion does it generate in me? The most valuable interpretation will always come from your own intuition, because no one knows your emotional history better than you. The power of this work with symbols lies in that, once you begin to pay attention to them, your unconscious becomes clearer in its messages. It's as if you gave it permission to communicate with you more directly. And when you begin to act based on these messages, your relationships transform because you're operating from a deeper level of self-knowledge. Remember, your unconscious wants you to be happy, wants to guide you toward the true love you deserve. The symbols aren't there to confuse you, but to take you beyond the limitations of your rational mind toward a deeper understanding of love. But there's a particularly revealing type of dreams that can completely transform your love life, and they are recurring dreams and nightmares about love, and that's what we'll talk about in the next point. Recurring dreams and nightmares related to love are urgent messages from your unconscious, alarm signals about harmful patterns you're repeating. Jung spoke of how these persistent dreams contain the key to our individuation, the process of becoming who you really are, separate from social or family expectations about love. Have you had that dream where your partner cheats on you over and over? Or where you end up completely alone? Or perhaps where you're about to get married and something catastrophic happens? These aren't omens of the future. They're reflections of your deepest fears, of wounds that remain open, of patterns you continue to repeat. Jung discovered that these persistent dreams are attempts by your psyche to heal what he called complexes, those emotional knots formed by painful experiences that continue influencing your way of loving. Each time the dream repeats, it's a new opportunity to understand the message and change the pattern. Imagine that you continually dream that your current partner abandons you. This dream isn't predicting a future abandonment. It's revealing an abandonment complex that perhaps formed when you were a child, maybe with an absent or inconsistent father. Your unconscious shows you this fear not to torment you, but so you recognize it, embrace it, and finally heal it. Most people try to avoid these uncomfortable dreams, take sleeping pills, or avoid remembering them. But you now know that those are precisely the dreams that contain the keys to your emotional liberation. Here's the real transformation. When you begin to work with these recurring dreams, when you face them with compassion instead of fear, they begin to change. Jung observed that dreams evolve as you evolve. That abandonment dream can gradually transform into a dream where, although the partner leaves, you find unexpected resources within yourself or new doors open. Do this powerful transformation exercise. The next time you have a nightmare or recurring dream about love, instead of trying to forget it, sit with your notebook and rewrite the ending. What would have happened if you had responded differently in the dream? What internal resources could you have used? What would your wiser self have said in that situation? Then each night before sleeping, visualize that new ending. You're literally reprogramming your unconscious to create new patterns. Jung said that what you deny controls you, but what you accept transforms you. Repeat this truth each time you face a difficult dream. I accept this message from my unconscious. It doesn't define me. It informs me. I choose to transform this pattern with compassion and wisdom. Remember that these recurring dreams aren't your enemy. They are your most honest ally on the path to healthier relationships. When you stop fearing them and begin to work with them, they become your most valuable guide. But there's an even deeper level of decoding that can lead you to manifest the love you truly deserve, and it's understanding the shadow and the lover archetype in your dreams. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point. The shadow and the lover archetype are two of Jung's most transformative concepts when it comes to understanding your love life through dreams. The shadow contains everything you've rejected, denied, or repressed in yourself, especially those aspects related to your capacity to love and be loved. Have you noticed that sometimes you dream of people who generate an instant rejection in you, or perhaps of loving situations that you would consciously never accept? Jung discovered that those elements that repel us in dreams are precisely parts of our shadow, rejected aspects of ourselves that need to be integrated in order to be able to love fully. Imagine that you repeatedly dream of a woman you consider too seductive or manipulative in love. Your conscious reaction is rejection. I would never be like that. But your shadow is showing you that you've repressed your own power of seduction, your capacity to go after what you desire in love, perhaps out of fear of being judged or seeming too much. Have you wondered why you keep attracting partners with certain specific flaws again and again? Jung would say you're projecting your shadow, seeking outside what you don't want to recognize within. If you continually attract controlling people, perhaps there's a controlling part in you that you haven't accepted. If you attract people who abandon you, perhaps there's a part of you that fears commitment more than you admit. The lover archetype, on the other hand, is that internal image we all have about ideal love. In your dreams, it can appear as that perfect partner, that magical encounter, that deep connection you yearn for. It's not just a fantasy, it's your psyche showing you the type of love you're capable of creating when you become more conscious. Most people seek this lover archetype in other people, spending years in relationships that never satisfy that internal image. But the secret that Jung discovered is that you first need to develop those lover qualities within you: passion, surrender, full attention, brave vulnerability. Do this transformative exercise. For a week, each morning after remembering your dreams, ask yourself, what aspect of my shadow is being revealed here? What rejected part of me is asking to be seen and loved? Then, dedicate 5 minutes to imagining yourself integrating that quality in a positive and conscious way. For example, if you've dreamed of someone extremely jealous and that repulses you, instead of completely rejecting those jealousies, ask yourself, how can I honor the desire for exclusivity and deep connection behind jealousy without falling into control or insecurity? Jung said that gold is in the darkness. Repeat this truth each time you work with your shadow. In what I most reject about myself lies my greatest treasure. By embracing my shadow, I become more complete and capable of authentic love. This shadow integration doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, but each time you recognize and accept a rejected aspect of yourself, your capacity to love and be loved expands. Your relationships become less projective and more real. You stop looking for saviors or perfect people and begin to connect from your authenticity. And when the internal lover archetype and your shadow begin to integrate, a deep transformation occurs in how you relate. You no longer seek someone to fill your voids, but you attract relationships that complement your fullness. But there's a final level of mastery in decoding your dreams for love, and it's learning to use lucid dreams to actively reprogram your love patterns. And that's what we'll talk about in the next point. Lucid dreams are those in which you realize you're dreaming while you dream. Jung recognized the immense transformative power of these dreams, where consciousness and the unconscious meet in direct dialogue. It's the most powerful tool to actively reprogram your love patterns from their root. Can you imagine being able to consciously enter your dreams and transform situations that reflect your deepest fears about love? To be able to speak directly with the representations of your ex-partners and heal those wounds? To converse with your ideal lover archetype and receive their guidance? This is exactly what lucid dreams allow you to do. Jung discovered that when we take an active role in our dreams, we are literally rewiring our unconscious. Each conscious decision you make in a lucid dream creates new neural connections that influence how you relate in real life. Imagine this. If you regularly dream that your partner abandons you and you react with desperation, in a lucid dream, you could consciously choose a different response. You could choose calm, confidence in yourself, even the understanding that your value doesn't depend on whether someone stays or goes. That new response, practiced in the sacred territory of the dream, gradually transfers to your waking life. Most people never harness this power because they don't know how to induce lucid dreams or what to do when they have them. But you will now have that advantage that will transform your love life from the deepest level. Here's a simple method to induce lucid dreams. During the day, develop the habit of asking yourself, "Am I dreaming?" several times. Look at your hands, observe details of your surroundings. Do it with sincere curiosity. This habit will eventually transfer to your dreams, where the question will lead you to realize that yes, you are dreaming. Another powerful technique is to program your intention before sleeping. Repeat 3 times. Tonight, I will realize I'm dreaming and consciously transform my love patterns. Visualize how you would realize you're dreaming and what you would specifically do to transform a recurring situation in your dreams about love. Once you're in a lucid dream, here are the most transformative actions you can take. Consciously confront the representations of your ex-partners or people who have hurt you, not from resentment, but from understanding and forgiveness. Ask them directly, "What did you come to teach me about love?" Consciously seek your internal lover archetype, that perfect representation of the love you yearn for, and ask them, "What do I need to develop in myself to manifest you in my real life?" If you find yourself in a recurring nightmare about love, Use your lucidity to actively transform it. Instead of fleeing from fear, face it with compassion, knowing it's a part of you asking to be integrated. Jung observed that this conscious work in dreams tremendously accelerates the individuation process, that path of becoming who you really are, liberated from unconscious patterns that sabotage your capacity to fully love and be loved. Practice this integration exercise. Each morning after working with a lucid dream, write down not only what happened, but how you can bring that learning to your day. If in your lucid dream you manage to respond calmly to a situation that normally triggers fear of abandonment in you, how can you practice that same calm today in your real relationships? Repeat this powerful truth. Each night, while I sleep, I am actively creating my future in love. My dreams are the workshop where I mold my capacity to love and be fully loved. When you master this practice of lucid dreams, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your waking relationships begin to reflect the transformations you've achieved in your dreams. New people enter your life, reflecting the qualities you've integrated. The old harmful dynamics begin to dissolve. Love begins to flow in ways that before seemed impossible. And most powerful of all, you're no longer a victim of your unconscious patterns in love. You've become the conscious creator of your loving destiny, using the most powerful tool that exists, the union of your conscious mind and your deep psyche in the sacred territory of your dreams. If you've made it this far, you already know that within you exists an unlimited power to transform your love life. Your dreams aren't simple nighttime fantasies. They're the treasure map that guides you toward the love you truly deserve, one based on fullness and not on lack, on authenticity and not on projection. What you've learned today isn't casual. Jung discovered that when we're ready for a truth, it finds its way to us. If this knowledge has reached you now, it's because your unconscious was already ready for this deep transformation. Remember, each dream is a personal message from your psyche, trying to guide you toward greater integrity. Your dreams don't lie, but they speak a symbolic language that you now know how to interpret. The characters in your dreams are reflections of parts of yourself that need to be recognized and integrated. The symbols and scenarios are metaphors of your internal emotional landscape. Your recurring dreams and nightmares are invitations to heal deep patterns. Your shadow contains hidden treasures that, once integrated, expand your capacity to love. And lucid dreams are your most powerful tool to actively reprogram your love patterns. This work doesn't happen overnight, but each step you take on this path brings you closer to the deep, authentic, and nurturing love you deserve. Each dream you remember, each symbol you interpret, each pattern you recognize, is liberating you from unconscious conditioning that has limited your capacity to fully love and be loved. I invite you to write in the comments, "I choose to decode my dreams to create the love I deserve." This simple but powerful act is a declaration of intention for your unconscious, a signal that you're ready for this transformative journey. Remember that you're not alone on this path. Each night, while you sleep, an ancestral wisdom works through your dreams to guide you toward your maximum expression in love. Trust in that process. Trust in your capacity to understand those messages. Trust that you deserve the most full and authentic love you can imagine. If this message resonated with you, don't let it remain just information. Activate the notification bell to receive more guides on how to use Jungian wisdom to transform all areas of your life. Share this video with that friend who you know needs it, but perhaps doesn't know it yet. And above all, begin tonight the journey toward decoding your dreams for love. Your future self, living the love you truly deserve, will thank you.